Really?
Yes. So they're stripping licenses and everything.
That's some bullshit.
Coming from the same people that said that you need to be comfortable
with
not owning your game.
Yeah, I still don't agree.
And
with
they
that.
have the audacity to, we have the Crew 2 and we have the Crew Motorfest. So you're telling us to buy your other games, but this was coming off the servers. What makes you think that you're not going to do it in the future as well?
Exactly. And this is exactly why gamers want to own their own games.
Yeah.
This is exactly why, because you have a game that's available to consumers and then eventually it gets completely taken off and then you can't do anything with it.
Dude, it has come to the point where everything is so mediocre. I feel like they're self-sabotaging themselves just because people are not going to buy this shit.
No.
I mean, some people are always, but I feel like they're self-sabotaging in order for people to join like their subscription-based games. I mean, I feel like they can get away more with that.
Oh, I mean, people because there's no way to prove that they're actually doing it until somebody finds or hacks them or finds out what their business plans are, and then they find out that they've been doing that the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, look at Skull and Bones.
Skull and Bones, I'm telling you, bro, there was a deal between Singapore and Ubisoft, and in order for Ubisoft to have a studio in Singapore, they worked out a deal where they had to make a game, which was Skull and Bones. And that game was reworked multiple times. Like sometimes they even they scrapped it to rebuild the game, so that way they could structure it in something better. They did it probably like 2 or 3 times.
Oh my god, it's bad. I mean, look at the Crew. Look what's going on with the Crew. Now look at these the new upcoming Star Wars Outlaws.
What's going on with that one,
bro? I'm sick and tired of like season passes in single player games, bro. So a season pass, and if you don't have the season pass, or if you don't pay, I think like $110. I might be so wrong for this, but $110.
$110.
Hold on for the base copy, but you get the season pass too, but you don't get to play one of the missions because it's hidden behind the paywall of the season pass in a single player game.
Wow,
bro. To me, it's like, bro, they're not thinking. I mean, are you trying to self-sabotage? Are you trying to? I don't know, dude. I don't know. I don't even know what to think.
It's kind of crazy that this is what games are turning out to. Game companies are being very greedy with how they're distributing their content. It's like you fully expect gamers to purchase these games that are appraised at $70, $69.99 with sales tax, $70, $73 and some change. And you fully expect them to pay that price only for them to find out that after, I don't know, how long has the Crew been out for?
I don't know. I want to say 10 years or less, maybe.
10 years or less. And then you fully expect them to pay this price when you're just going to shut down the game. And then you have the audacity to say, you know what? You guys have played the game enough. And not give them any offline mode.
Bro, it's getting so much commotion on the internet.
I think that's something that you and I talked about before, like last time on the LeisureHub podcast.
Oh, 100%.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the latest episode of the LeisureHub podcast. We are your hosts, Justin
and Pedro. Welcome.
And, we were going to talk about a certain episode today, but I feel like we could keep talking about this little game news. You had some game news you wanted to share today, right?
That's about it. I mean, I didn't really want to share. I mean, of course, I'm sharing it with you, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people are talking about this. Because not only us, but, a lot of news articles, a lot of, YouTube content creators are talking about it. And again, they kind of take this and then talk about what's going on in gaming today.
So was that the one thing you wanted to talk to me about today, like that news?
Yeah, I did want to talk to you about that because I feel like we've been talking about it in our past podcasts. Yeah. And now there's something really relevant today where it's like, they really took it off. And I'm a big advocate for, digital games. But in this case, even if you have physical copy like my cousin, When I told him the news, he tried it, and even if you have the physical copy, can't do shit.
Doesn't matter because they locked you out. I mean, all they really need is just a software update, and then they push it out, and then that's pretty much all they really need. I kind of like that we did a little impromptu shift. You know, this one probably won't be a long format. It'll probably be like a quick discussion of some news that we noticed. Yeah. This one being a primary one, and then we kind of just discuss that and have a conversation based on that. And as we go, like, I mean, you can look up any news that you want to see. But I kind of want to keep talking about that really quick. Yeah. So you and I kind of talked about that one time on another podcast episode where if there's a game that requires you to play online only, right? Those games, I at this point, I kind of feel like those games can't be trusted.
No, yeah.
And it doesn't matter.
Especially nowadays.
Yeah. And it doesn't even matter the company that is producing these games. It doesn't matter because, you know, at any point they could do this. I mean, Ubisoft's at a full scale size where they're not solely dependent on another company. For example, Naughty Dog is codependent on Sony to produce their games, to fund it, and etc. Whereas Ubisoft is completely independent. Yeah, they run their own show, and they're large enough where Sony or Microsoft or Nintendo wouldn't be able to purchase them. And if they did, they would have to pay an astronomical price in order for that to happen. Naughty Dog is a big company because they make big titles like Uncharted 4. Well, they made Crash Bandicoot. They made Jak and Daxter, Last of Us, and they were getting ready to make an open world game. But they are codependent on Sony to produce this.
Oh, 100%.
Bungie was like that for a while.
On Xbox.
Well, they were codependent on Xbox, Microsoft. Yeah. And then shortly after that, they went independent.
Now they're Sony.
And now they're owned by Sony. So I don't know what the issue was at that time where they decided that they had to kind of shift back to being owned by another company. Yeah. But I'm sure there was some legal agreement that was made where they have to make a certain amount of games. Like Sony is comfortable with, I almost said Insomniac, with Ubisoft. Why do I keep getting these names wrong?
It's a lot of gaming studios.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure Sony is comfortable with Bungie. There we go. Yeah. Kind of like being half independent, but half being still under them. Because they're making Destiny, and that game is massive. Yeah. So
you think it's going to be exclusive?
Destiny? No. It makes too much money. Okay. That's kind of like Call of Duty. Like Microsoft, they could make it exclusive to Xbox. But in the long run, it generates way too much revenue being on multi-platforms. Mm-hmm. So, but to finish my point about with like online games, if a game comes out and it's only on online mode, it only has an online mode. Yes, you should be skeptical because exactly what Ubisoft did is exactly what any studio, doesn't matter how credible they are, they can do it. But that's just my thoughts.
Now, going back to Ubisoft is in the spotlight right now, and it's not a good thing. Going back to Ubisoft and Star Wars Outlaws. So there was a little bit of confusion going on about it, even physical copies, like if you have the disc, requiring internet to install the game. So do we really need like what's in the disc? Like if you get what I mean? Yeah. Like is it a placebo effect kind of thing? But then it was like later confirmed that you didn't. I might be wrong. I'm just giving you some information. I was like listening up this morning, but dude, it's getting crazy. Yeah. Also like they're getting a lot of heat too, because apparently Ubisoft passed around an email to their staff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, saying, wow. I'm not going to say the whole thing. You could probably post up. I'll send you a picture of the actual email.
Yeah, and I'll put it up.
If there is, right, that it was leaked. Something about like their employees, in case they ever faced like negative comments or threats from the internet or something like that. Right. And the process that they should take and this and that. Basically, remember that we're all about inclusivity and stuff like that. And I guess that is cool.
See, I don't mean to interrupt you, but like I feel like a lot of that is marketing ploys. Like it's marketing lingo, it's marketing jargon. Like they say a lot of those things to pacify the community when in actuality that's not what their true goal is. Do you know what I mean?
But this was passed around to their staff.
Right.
Okay.
Right. But I guess what I'm trying to say is like if you're promoting something, right? And let's say you're promoting a cologne, men's cologne.
Yeah.
And you know that cologne smells like shit.
Yeah.
You bought the supplies and you have the resources in order to develop this new cologne. Why would you go out of your way to say that cologne is shit? You're not gonna sell any units if you're telling your consumers, your fan base, that your product is trash, right?
Yeah.
Or it smells like shit.
Right.
You have to kind of boast about it. You have to say this is the best product. It'll make you smell better. And I mean, look at Axe, right? Axe has like it gives you the illusion that like by putting Axe on, more women flock to you.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with like with what you're talking about. It's like, why would any company like degrade their own product?
Right.
So
which is they're empowering their employees. And what I'm saying here, a lot of the attention is going towards the inclusivity part.
Yeah.
So basically,
well, I guess, sorry. The other thing that I wanted to say with that is like the intentions behind it, right?
Yeah.
It's not, they say one thing in a press release, but their intentions behind it are completely different. So they say inclusivity, but what they probably mean is something else. Like they're hiding their ulterior motive, or they have an ulterior motive.
No, and then this is the thing, is they contradict each other in a way.
Yeah.
So they say they're all about inclusivity, yet like there is evidence out there of like one of their employees, talking about how white males are ruining the gaming industry.
Oh, that's just a strike up conversation, dude.
But it is the truth, and I have to get it out here because it's really what's gaining attention and to this point, basically.
Sure.
And it is very contradicting. I know it should be good. I mean, it is good to be inclusive, and I feel like gaming has always been inclusive. Everybody knows this. Like Tomb Raider, you know what I mean? Like like girls and women in gaming has always been a thing.
Yeah.
Like we don't judge whether they're black, whether they're white, whether they're female.
I do.
Oh,
I do.
Oh, damn, dude. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then now, instead of making the games more about fun, they focus less about how fun it is and more about the inclusivity part.
They focus a lot on the politics behind it.
Yeah.
Right.
And yes. And gamers have a long history of like, don't give a fuck about the politics.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But
we actually would give a fuck when you're trying to implement that on shit that we like to play.
Yeah. But I will say though, there are some gamers that are very they're very specific with their content, and when it changes, it's not for them. You know, you and I were having this conversation before about like we were talking about Last of Us Part 2.
Yes.
Or either that, or we were talking about Horizon Forbidden West.
Yes.
And there's a female protagonist.
Yeah.
And it's like, for you and I, like, we don't see, like, we just play the game. Like, it's we recognize that Aloy or Ellie, they're badass characters, but we don't really think about like, oh, I'm playing as like a female character. Like, that's not.
Yeah, we don't think about that.
Right. That's not a priority of ours. It's like, is this game good? Is the character cool?
Yes.
Are they badass? Like, that's pretty much all we're really looking for.
Right.
But I feel like some gamers, like they focus a lot on like, I'm playing as a female, like men sometimes, and maybe some women. I don't know. I don't know that, but I know some are very like, I don't want to play as a woman. Like, that's not like I want to play as a male character. Like, why?
Right.
Like, what does it matter?
But
like,
also a lot has to do too with like, it happens with men, but a lot with females.
Yeah.
Like females want to see more female protagonists. That's okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
But when you make it a priority over how good the game is.
Yeah.
Like, wow, this game sucks, but I'm glad I'm a female. You know, no gamer wants to feel that way. Like if Tomb Raider was bad, you know, I wouldn't blame it on the game is bad because it's a girl.
Well, like I feel like
the game is bad because the game is bad.
Yeah. I feel like some people will.
I love Tomb Raider though.
Tomb Raider?
Hell yeah.
That game's ass.
Shut up.
No, I feel like some people do specifically like they define a game by the protagonist that they play as. It's like I'm playing as a girl and I didn't really like how the agenda that they were pushing on this character.
Yeah.
So I didn't like the game. Well, what about the other components of the game?
Yes,
like
exactly. You know what I mean? I agree. Keep going.
And so I wanted to do a quick touch because I have another news thing.
Yeah.
So you had said like it's more about inclusivity, right?
Wait, what part?
Including making games have always been about inclusivity. That's what you said.
No, I feel like it wasn't. I mean, they were always inclusive.
No,
but there is a big push now.
Hold on, pause. That was disgusting.
Sorry, dude. I'm sorry.
That was gross.
I'm sorry, man. I can't do nothing about it.
Don't do it again.
Outside. I'll go outside.
You know what? Stop the recording.
No, but and a lot has to do too with this new agency also that companies are hiring. It's called Sweet Baby Inc. I don't know if you know.
I don't know. Never heard of that.
So
right there,
Sweet Baby Inc.
I feel like now I can be more visual. Oh wait, we didn't even address. This is our first ever episode where we're actually doing visuals. Right.
Oh,
so now you can see what Pedro and I look like.
This is how I look like. Okay.
Rest in peace, Pedro's hair.
It's been
gone.
Been gone.
Since you been gone. Anyway,
but yeah, Sweet Baby Inc. There's a lot of controversy going on.
Yeah.
With them having an agenda, basically.
What's their agenda?
What's their agenda? Push what we've been talking about. Pushing inclusivity and making sure. And again, inclusivity, like you said earlier, they kind of when they're talking about inclusivity, it's kind of like they contradict each other.
Sure, contradict.
It's almost basically like everything except white males, or except the patriarchy, or something like that.
Why do you think that is? So why do you think companies are doing that?
Bro, it's political. And the thing is they're trying to make games political instead of games.
I don't want politics in my games.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. Nobody wants fucking politics in the games.
Some people probably
games
do.
Are about games. Make them fun. Just want to relax and have fun. Not feel like I'm getting fucked by, you know what I mean?
By this
somebody trying to make me think a certain way.
Yeah. Well, see, the one thing I wanted to tie in with the inclusivity was that companies are promoting inclusivity while remaining exclusive. You like that? So I'm leading into that with like Nintendo recently, and I just saw this on Threads today.
Yeah.
And so Nintendo wants Fortnite on their platform. It already is, but
yes.
You know how Fortnite has different skins, right?
Yeah.
So if Nintendo wanted to strike a deal with Epic Games, the creators of Fortnite, to have any Nintendo characters only be available on the Switch platform. So like I said, inclusivity while remaining exclusive. Like I don't know if I agree with that. Like,
so inclusivity of what?
Inclusivity of
the human rights type of inclusive.
Well, they're trying to make their like, I don't know what I'm trying to say actually. Now that I just want to pull back on that, but it's I guess it's more necessarily to relate, or like kind of like pivot to this exact a segue to this exact topic, where it's like inclusivity while remaining exclusive. It's like they're including new features, including new characters in a game that already exists. However, they're trying to keep it exclusive.
It's definitely a financial interest.
Oh, 100%. And so like a lot of game companies will do that. Like a lot of game studios are doing that. They want to be inclusive when it benefits them financially.
Yeah.
And as much as I love,
like Apple.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
As much as I love video games, like game studios are doing that. They're prioritizing money over like you said, just overall enjoyment of the game. And
I feel like Nintendo's always going to be that way.
It's weird though.
It's weird.
It's weird.
And the reason I find it even more weirder is because Xbox is becoming more inclusive in the way of like pushing their games out to other consoles.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, like they're big as shit right now.
Yeah.
With that whole acquisition.
So I'm gonna send you this link really quick.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna read the title off really quick. And this site is from I'm just gonna send it to your phone.
Yeah.
Nintendo apparently wanted Samus Aran's, I don't know, Fortnite skin to be a Switch exclusive. So that's what I was referring to.
I see that.
And so it's like, I'll just read the first sentence, and this is from NintendoLife.com news, and we'll, again, right here on the screen.
It's like they want Fortnite money, but on their own terms.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. It's been known for some time now that the Fortnite developer would like to do a crossover with Nintendo, and there have even been some leaked internal documents revealing how Epic Games and Samus Aran from the Metroid series in its sights.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. That would be sick.
It would be sick, but why are you making it? Why are you making it exclusive? I understand why they're making it exclusive, but like, they're the only company that would be doing it. Look at PlayStation; they could have done the same exact thing. They have God of War, they have Ellie, they have Joel, they have. I mean, look at even Avatar. Did you see the Avatar?
Yeah,
dude, that looks pretty badass.
Yeah. Wait, Ellie and Joel on Fortnite?
Someone is. I mean, they have a whole bunch of IPs. I might be wrong about that, but like they have a whole bunch of other IPs in Fortnite.
Yes,
and it's
a lot. It's cool how they work. I mean, I've never been crazy into Fortnite, but I just think it's cool how they can have all this. It's like a gamer's dream come true.
Yeah,
where everything in one. Anyways,
yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to be a dick rider.
No, you are
for Sony. I'm not trying to be a dick rider for Sony, but they could have done the same exact thing because they are very passionate about their exclusives. Yeah, 100%.
But it's more money.
It is more money, but they haven't done it. So if Sony hasn't done it and they get kind of greedy with their IPs and trying to make money off of it, how is Nintendo going to get away with doing that? Like exclusively having their characters only on their platform.
I mean, it would be I think it's only if Fortnite really wanted it. Are they going to accept it on Nintendo's terms? You know what I mean? Because Nintendo, that's all they have. You know, they have these characters. They make money on these characters. Yeah. And PlayStation, they have exclusive. That's all they have. Yeah. You know. Yeah. The one who was really losing here, in my opinion, was Xbox. Like, they didn't have shit. Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, they had to do something crazy to stay relevant. They had to do something crazy to, you know, be part of the competition. So what they do, they just they bought into this big ass deal. Yeah. And now basically it's a monopoly in a way. I'm not sure if it's a complete monopoly, but holy shit. Like, they own a lot of, these big gaming studios now, where now they serve as like they can sell these tools, basically, like games, like Call of Duty, and all these games. And it's like,
you know some of these games, like you mentioned a lot of these big name studios, I can kind of see them as a cash cow.
What?
Like the big studios.
Oh, 100%.
They're like a cash cow. It's like, I mean, look at the acquisitions that Microsoft had. Like, a lot of those companies are like, they generate a lot of revenue.
And that's what I mean. Is like Microsoft had to do something in order to generate money on the video game side of things. Like, they were losing to PlayStation big time. Yeah. Come on, we know this.
I just watch your eye twitch. I'm like, what the fuck is up with his eye?
Like, we know this. Yeah. And I mean, now I feel like they're relevant and up to date again with owning all these studios.
Well, it's especially relevant because a lot of these games, the bigger game studios that we're referring to, because they're making a lot of money, they're finding other ways outside of the gaming universe or gaming spectrum to make money. Yeah. And
I mean, Microsoft is a big company.
Oh yeah,
as it is.
But like, haven't you noticed that there's a big trend going on lately? I mean, it's been happening for years. This specific trend has been happening for years, but like, it hasn't been to this scale, meaning that this trend has actually gotten good. Like, actually, it's decent now.
What trend?
You don't know?
Oh, what trend, bro?
Actually, you know what? I don't want to drop the trend anymore.
Yeah, of course.
No, the trend is turning video games into a series, or it's more of into a series than a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's existed before. I put my mouth on the mic. So games have existed where they made movie adaptations or TV adaptations. It's existed before. But this is the first time we're seeing these game studios actually make really good.
Yeah.
Not only really good
like the
games,
newest one being like Fallout.
Fallout, yeah.
And it's getting a lot of people into Fallout, like new people coming in.
So, I mean, obviously the season of Fallout, or like the whole first season has ended. Like, it's done.
Okay.
They had the season finale the other day on, I think it was last week on Friday at our time. And so like Victoria has been hearing a lot about it. She's like, oh, I've been hearing a lot about Fortnite. And my friends were having a watch party. So I was contemplating on trying to like binge 8 hours, or I don't know how many episodes are in this, to try to watch all the episodes in one day. It's never going to happen. So her and I started watching it, and we got to like episode 2, episode 3. And she was like, and I was like, she's like, I don't really know how I feel about it. And I think she's getting more interested as the episodes go by.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is based on a game, right?
Yeah.
And she's like,
it's a game.
What game? Fallout.
Yeah.
It's like, it's based on Fallout. And so like, but I will say, like, a lot of these game companies are making headway with turning their game IP or their IPs.
It's a new thing. You're right.
It's a TV adaptation. They're killing it. So have you given Fallout a watch yet?
No,
not yet. Have you seen anything on it?
No, I've been watching the 3 Body Problem.
Oh, I really like that. So 3 Body Problem was really good.
I liked it a lot.
It was really good. For me, it got a little spoiler alert. I flash it.
Spoiler alert.
Okay, well, hold on. Before I go too far with it. Yeah. Where are you at? Like, what episode number?
I'm done.
Oh, you're done?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So then now, spoiler alert. I'm going to flash it again.
Okay.
Right here. So, and for those of you who are not watching the video portion of the LeisureHub podcast, get your ass onto YouTube or Instagram and watch it. This is going to be a shorter one because we're just talking about some news, gaming news, entertainment news, whatever news kind of catches our eye. I'm on IGN right now, so I'm also looking at things that are relevant.
Oh, word?
Yeah. Anything that catches my eye, anything that I can actually like, that I've been keeping up with. Gotcha. But Fallout specifically, have you played any of the Fallout games?
A little bit of 3 and a little bit of 4, but I wasn't really big into them.
It's funny that you say it's getting people in to Fallout. Because that's the same exact thing that happened with The Last of Us.
Yeah, same thing. I mean, even the PlayStation Store, like if you go, the main theme is like Fallout. I'm like, what the fuck is going on, Fallout? And then I realized, wait a minute.
Yeah, and you know what the funny thing is?
What?
Game company, or not game companies, but YouTubers are updating their videos to match like the trends of right now.
Look
right?
at that.
So Game Ranks, we always reference them because we really like them.
Before you buy a Fallout and stuff like that?
They did it before you buy a Fallout.
Like years ago.
They did it years ago, but then they just resurfaced it again.
That's a good strategy.
It is a good strategy. Like there's no knock on them at all for doing that because it's fully relevant.
It's relevant.
But they also added more to it where it's like updates since the last time they played Fallout.
Yeah.
And Falcon, the guy that plays the Eagle, he was like, yeah, when I remember playing it the first time, and when I played it the first time, I didn't enjoy it. That was just like I shortened his explanation, but he didn't enjoy it. But with all the updates since Fallout came out, the last one was Fallout 76, right?
Yeah.
Fallout 76 wasn't received very well.
I don't think so. I mean, I remember people not really fucking with it like that.
Let me double check.
I know big in the series would be Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3. And Fallout 4 has a, cult following too.
Yeah.
But big ones are Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 3.
It's funny because I was talking to my friend about Fallout, And there's like this ongoing joke on the internet where it's like, oh, you like Fallout because you watched the new episode. Yep. It's like, yeah, I really liked it. Well, what kind of Fallout fan are you? Are you Fallout fan New Vegas? Yeah. Or are you Fallout 1 through 4? And then there's obviously 76. Like, so there's this are you different. Hardcore or are you like softcore? Yeah. That kind of thing. I've never played Fallout. I mean, I've watched people play it. I've been in the room when people were playing it, but it just at the time,
the concept is cool.
Yeah. At the time, it never really seemed like it was like my thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
And maybe I didn't give it enough time, but it's just one of those games where it's like, I don't think this is my game.
Yeah. But you know what? It's not a game, but I would love to see this become a game in the future.
Hold on. Is there a series?
It's not a series.
A movie.
But a trailer just dropped, and it will be a movie in June.
Joker?
No. I think it's June.
Wait.
You were about to say it?
No.
Yes.
I'm about to say it.
You were about to say it. I thought you were about to, at least.
I don't know. What is it?
I won't keep the suspense. But the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer just dropped today. Did you get a chance to watch that?
No.
I haven't either. But we'll put up a clip right here.
Okay.
But honestly, from like the I guess like the little snippets that they showed before the actual official trailer released.
Yeah.
So hyped. I was kind of losing my interest in Marvel movies lately, just because like they haven't been hitting like they have
after the Avengers.
Yeah. After that, things kind of just tapered.
No, I agree. It's not like. Anyways, go ahead.
No, go.
No, I'm saying like I remember for the Avengers Endgame, bro. It's that day I woke up. I know I was gonna see the movie, but that was what everyone was talking about.
Yeah.
Like, at the grocery store, at my job, family, friends, everyone was just talking about that.
Yeah.
You don't see that nowadays.
Nah.
With Marvel stuff. I mean, movies.
Yeah, it's not, for some reason, it's not, well, I guess not for some reason, but it's definitely not as prevalent as it used to be. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? During like, I remember even the first Avengers movie, like that was a cultural thing, like a cultural phenomenon.
Yeah.
Then you had Endgame and Infinity War. Like those things, people were literally like screaming for. Like people, I remember going to Endgame. Or no, not Endgame, Infinity War, because it was Infinity War and then Endgame.
Yeah.
I remember going and like people were like gasping like at the moment. Again, another spoiler alert. Yeah. But Thanos, when Thor comes in and he takes the
Thanos head off?
Yeah, he chops it right into his neck. The axe.
Oh, wait, you talking about Infinity War?
Yeah, Infinity War. And like he's like, you should have aimed for the head.
Yeah.
Like people were like, "Oh my god! Like what the fuck?" Like, you know what I mean? Like, like it was that, and people. That's all people were talking about. And nobody wanted that spoiled or anything like that. Yeah. And then Infinity War came out, and then
Endgame.
Yeah, Endgame. My bad. And I feel like Endgame, while it was good, and there was still a cultural phenomenon going on when that came out. Mm-hmm. I don't think it was as prominent as Infinity War.
Yeah, I agree.
It was like,
I agree.
I think because too much time went by.
Maybe. I mean, I feel like Infinity War for me, it was so good because you don't typically see a villain win.
Yeah.
That's
true.
And,
that's true.
And me, I'm always, I want the good side to win, of course, but there's something about the villain winning.
Well, let me ask you.
It kind of breaks the rules, and there's something good.
That's kind of like the Joker movie. With Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
Because technically,
but that movie is about the villain.
It's about the villain, but technically he wins. I understand what you're saying.
It's about the villain.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Speaking of more superhero movies, the Spider-Man, you heard that they want to do another Amazing Spider-Man movie, right?
Yeah, I heard about that. Is that coming?
Well, it's in the works. I mean, it's coming at some point.
Yeah. I heard about that with Andrew Garfield.
Yes. How do you feel about that? Like, what do you think about that?
I fuck with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know people are not gonna believe, but that was always my favorite Spider-Man.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
Because like, especially the suit. Mm-hmm. The suit to me, it's the best one out of all of them. I know the Raimi suit is a classic, mm-hmm. but the suit is, to me, top notch.
Yeah.
And I just like the story better. like with what they did with Gwen Stacy.
Yeah,
and I enjoyed it better than I did with Tobey Maguire and what's his name?
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland.
Bro, did we miss the Spider-Man 3 trailer with Andrew Garfield? I missed it. Apparently, there's a trailer out for it right now.
Really?
Yes. It says the Amazing Spider-Man 3. Well, one of them is made by Screen Culture. Oh, okay. Well, maybe not. But if there is a trailer, we'll drop it. But I'd be curious to see how they handle that, because in my opinion, I know a lot of people like Tobey Maguire as the main Spider-Man because that's the one as kids that's the one that they grew up.
I remember
with. But for me, going back to watching those, like the original, it's kind of cringe.
Not nostalgic. It's nostalgic for me. I still enjoy them.
I don't.
Especially two.
With the technology that we had at the time, I think it was kind of like the Green Goblin suit.
Yeah,
wasn't.
It's still classic though. It's like they got that classic feel.
I don't hate it. I'm not saying I hate it, but I do prefer Tom Holland as the Spider-Man. I think my biggest issue with the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man was like the portrayal of Spider-Man or Peter Parker.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Spider-Man is supposed to be more comedic. He's supposed to joke around a lot, and I feel like I really didn't get that. Like he uses that as a coping mechanism to fight a lot of like the villains that he's fighting. Like it's his humor. Yeah. You don't really get a lot of that in the Tobey Maguire version.
No,
it's more serious.
Yeah,
and I get their different.
I like
versions.
that part of it too.
I like how like Andrew, but then you go to Andrew Garfield, right, as and the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah,
and then you have him kind of portraying a more joking Spider-Man.
Yes,
which is I like that.
Yeah,
but I feel like Andrew Garfield is a very handsome boy. And Peter Parker, at least how he's portrayed in the comics, he's like an average nerd. Like,
yeah.
And so when I look at Andrew Garfield in the Amazing Spider-Man movies, I don't really see him as like a nerdy science loving kid. Like I see him as like,
I agree.
I see him as like I'm a very attractive Spider-Man. Like, I don't know.
I agree. He kind of looked like a high school stud type deal. Like,
yeah. He wouldn't be a nerd.
I know. I get that. Like, oh, sorry.
Stop doing that, bro. Every what'd you do if I got like really pissed off? I was like, why do you do this every time on the podcast?
What do you want me to do?
It's like, I don't know what you want me to do.
What do you want me to do? Yeah. Like, no, I get that. And Tom Holland, he's funny as Spider-Man, and he's a good Peter Parker, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think if he hits
Tobey
both.
Maguire, I thought he was a good awkward Peter Parker.
Yes, he captures that.
Yes. But when it comes to the story and the animations, I have to give it to the Amazing Spider-Man.
Animations?
Huh?
Animations?
Animations in terms of like
CGI.
Like swinging through the city and like doing some crazy ass shit.
You would say Amazing Spider-Man over Spider-Man Homecoming and all the other two?
Well,
for Tom Holland's.
No, I give it to Tom Holland in what was the last one? Far From Home.
Far From Home.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. Like I really enjoyed that.
No, sorry, No Way Home.
No, yeah, no Way Home, No Way Home.
It's Homecoming, Far From Home.
Yeah,
and
I enjoyed that one, but the previous two movies, I enjoyed The Amazing Spider-Man and The Amazing Spider-Man 2 better.
Okay, I can respect that. I can respect that. It's your own.
It's an opinion.
It's an opinion. I'd say let's cover one more gaming news article really quick, and anyone that we can really muster up. Actually, I wanted to kind of talk about Stellar Blade.
Yes, that's been popping off.
Yeah, it's apparently people have tried like this trailer for it or like the demo for it. Some people liked it, some people hated it.
I haven't.
You haven't?
No, not Stellar Blade. I wait. I did see a trailer for it. Yeah, I did see a trailer for it, but no demo.
Yeah,
no demo.
How do you? Little side tangent. How do you feel about that game, Stellar Blade? Like from the visual, like from visuals to the gameplay. Like I think you haven't played it.
I think it looks good.
Yeah,
and I would give it a try, but it's a game that I would give a try, but I can't really talk too much on it. I don't know if it's a sequel to something or
no. I think it's like a completely unique, its own IP.
Well, I can definitely tell it looks good.
Did you see that the creator was like of Stellar Blade had said that his game is better than the game is heavily inspired by Nier Automata. I think
I haven't played that either.
But the creator of it,
I heard that's good though.
Oh yeah. The creator was like, my game's better.
Damn,
like that's pretty bold. That's like,
damn, we got rap disses, we got game disses.
I mean,
man, it's a crazy year.
Do you remember who's the actor that plays Kratos for God of War? What's his name?
Christopher Judge.
I mean,
shots at Call of Duty.
Man, I think. I mean, it could have been a little bit more tasteful, but I don't think it was all that bad. On a separate note, this is going a little in a different direction because I did hear about this, and I want to get your thoughts on this before we kind of close it out. So have you heard about the latest TikTok ban bill?
A TikTok? What? Oh, what happened? I mean, I don't have TikTok. But
yeah, you do.
I don't.
You don't do TikTok dances? I can see you on TikTok doing some dances.
I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I have some crazy account.
You hidden talents.
Yeah. But what about it?
If you want to see Pedro shaking his ass on TikTok,
shaking my ass.
He also charges $5 if you want to rub his crystal ball.
Oh, I also have OnlyFans. So
you do?
Yeah.
I knew you had an OnlyFans. What's it? What's the handle?
I have no OnlyFans.
Oh,
it's like, oh,
you got people excited. You got me excited.
I bet.
Well, TikTok and lovely Biden, wants to ban TikTok. So you know how like before there's been talks about trying to get TikTok banned in the United States because it's a Chinese company and they may be doing spying on civilians in the United States, and they're pushing out content that's more Chinese propaganda and all this other weird bullshit. It's like which is like, I mean, I highly doubt a company's objective is to like promote that when I
wouldn't cross off anything. I mean, I believe it and I don't believe it. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. Who knows? I mean, I'm not there to know what, but at the end of the day, we'll never know.
Yeah. So this is a IGN title. Biden signs TikTok ban bill into law, forcing ByteDance to sell TikTok in 9 months or risk being banned. So the first few lines: after signaling that he would sign a bill into law should it pass, President Joe Biden has signed the foreign aid package that includes a bill that would ban TikTok into law. People are not going to be happy with that. I mean, long story short, I could just tell you, people are not going to be happy with that ban. People love TikTok and they love scrolling on TikTok for hours. That's what they like. Yeah. When you take something away from them, it never goes well.
What are they gonna do?
I mean, look at Prohibition. Huh? Look at Prohibition. I mean, it's
TikTok.
It's completely it's completely unrelated in terms of like the type of content. But look at Prohibition. People will find a way to do it.
TikTok, bro.
People, I'm telling you,
maybe VPNs.
Okay,
maybe VPN is, but why would you? I don't know. I'm just talking about me. Like, why would you go out of your way VPNing your shit like around to get TikTok, when it's like you got Instagram Reels, you got YouTube Shorts, everything that quote unquote is TikTok.
Yeah.
I don't know. As a non-TikTok user now, I mean, I've been a user of TikTok before.
He's a TikTok creator.
I'm like, bro, I don't know. It's just, to me, the ban is not that crazy.
Well, that's because you and I don't really we don't really use TikTok like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I mean, I say the prohibition, that people will find a way. You're like, it's not that serious, but okay, I'll put it in a way for you and I to kind of like see it, for people who love that platform.
Sorry, the only bad part I would see is like if you get money from it, then it's an income that you don't have anymore, I guess.
You should be switching to Instagram real fast.
Or something like that. But I feel like people that do this already have an Instagram Reels already have YouTube Shorts.
That's true.
So I'm like, I'm really trying to think what would be the problem.
Well, I will say TikTok does really help expose a lot of new content creators to a more broad market. Like it helps get your videos out there because their algorithm is it's so damn good. Like it shares videos so effectively and efficiently. And like if you're, like I said, if you're a content creator trying to promote your content on there, it's a very effective way to get people's attention. I mean, look, when you were doing it for a good bit, like look how many views you got without even promoting it.
True.
I mean, like Instagram, it's a lot harder to do.
And I get it for content creators, but like the majority,
the average
of people,
user,
which are the people we're talking about that are not gonna really, they're gonna go batshit insane, quote unquote.
I'll throw it to you like this: game ROMs, like people who have emulators, and they play like old school Game Boy Advance, Pokemon, Metroid Prime, Castlevania, whatever, Mario Kart, whatever, like old school games that are on like Game Boy Advance, SP, whatever. You know, it's one thing if we have like an emulator that gets taken off, right? Yeah. People are upset about that, but people will find a way. They'll go out of their way to create a new emulator and have more ROMs and make it harder for these companies to track it down. So like, I mean, even with pirating content, you remember Pirate Bay, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. When people feel like they're having their things taken away, their content taken away, or the thing that they like to use, like they find an alternative way to get that thing. If they're not, if it's taken away from them. Like, true. Especially Americans don't like when something is taken away from them. I mean, like, and I use prohibition as a thing because like you took alcohol away from people. Yeah. They didn't like it. So they found an alternative way to drink, and they had like speakeasies and, you know what I mean?
It's just funny. Like TikTok.
It is funny.
Like, come on,
it is funny because
that's not even like, anyway.
Yeah, it is funny it's for the hardcore users on TikTok. They will find a way. Like if this does get banned, they will find a way to go around it, and then watch TikTok anyway. They'll do it.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, if I always say like you can do anything you want as long as you're willing to take the consequences.
Yeah, I
was gonna say like, if you want to kill if you want to off somebody, like
whoa, unalive.
Bro, like just make sure that you're good with the consequences as well.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on the latest episode of the LeisureHub Podcast. This has been our not necessarily game news, but our news segment. It actually ended up being a little longer than we expected, but we hope you liked this episode. We didn't really drop a lot of like news, but we did have a lot of like takes. We have a lot of perspectives on it. So if you like this type of content, like, follow, subscribe, drop us a comment on Instagram, Threads, send an email to Pedro's house.
An email to my house.
Yep, an email to his house. Here's his address
right now. An email to my house.
I'm going to drop his address right now. So what's your address?
I don't know.
I
got a wife for that.
We won't do him like that.
Stop.
And on that note, this has been I like having this visual aspect. Do you like the little pillows that I have in the background? Right? You like that?
I do.
Yeah, we got to get you set up with that.
I like my pink headphones.
Why?
It's my opinion.
Your opinion?
I don't have to explain myself.
You do. We're on a podcast where you have to explain every single piece of evidence.
I don't.
You do.
An email to my house, bro. An email.
How? And we've been doing it on the podcast for a while. So catch you ladies and gentlemen, on the next episode of the LeisureHub Podcast.
Peace.
Love you.